Welcome back to the channel. Last year I bought this beautiful Magnolia, and it's really in a bush form, and I really want it to be more in a tree form. See how low it is to the ground? This will get to be 10 or 12 feet across, and it's just too wide for this area. So I really want it to grow up and then out, more like a tree. So I'm going to zoom in, we're going to take some cuttings, and we'll try to do some propagating of this beautiful plant in my new propagation bed, so I get to show that off today. So I only bought this last year, and this thing took forever to wake up. I'm in zone 4 by Minneapolis, and I'll put some video in here. By middle of May, I mean, there was still no life on it, and literally it's just filled out to this degree as of recently. So I'm kind of curious to see how much more it's going to grow this growing season. However, we're going to go in right now and shape this up. Stay tuned, we'll do that right now. So for this operation, I have my handy dandy kneeling bench, which you've seen in many of my other videos, which really helps me get up and down. And I've got just a plain bucket of water here. I've sterilized the shears, and we're going to go in and see how this thing is structured. So I've got a lot of branches down low. Cut some of these out of there. I just don't want them down that low on. So this is a hefty branch. So hopefully we get some nice cut-ins out of it. So I don't have any one branch, that tree that's really just on center. I'm going to try to take some more of this cross branches out of there. See if I can find one of these to make the central leader. And this is really the tallest one here. Maybe if I take that one, maybe what I'll do is I'll trim all these up and then allow it to branch out, but to stay more topiary on the bottom. Let me just cut all this lower stuff off here. So if you've grown the magnolias in your zone, let us know where you're from and if you've had any problems with it. So here I am cutting down to the collar, and I've got these basically these suckers underground. I want to get out of there, so I'm going to prune those. And these produce, from what I've seen in the fall, is when they start producing their buds for next year. You'll see this is like a dead tip, but I've seen that it's still growing, it's still coming up, so we're going to leave that be. And I'm just going to take the soft cutting. Some of them I can just peel off. So some of the newer growth peels right off, see? So you can do it that way too. That's last year's growth. Here's another one. It pulls right off. These ones are going to pull off too. Again, I'm just trying to get the branches kind of opened up where I have the growth going up. And then hopefully I still have bud formation on it. So here's the last little section of the tree. I'm going to get in here again. I'm just trying to limit up to get it off the ground. I got some stuff coming straight out of the ground, like this whole branch is halfway in the ground. We're just going to cut the whole thing off. This branch actually comes with roots, which is really kind of nice. I don't know if you can see that at all. Now I'm going to get these branches cleaned out of there, so that shouldn't be there. And I'm going to pull these off, I think. So I'll be pruning it like that. Pretty drastic difference, but that's okay. Again, I'm trying to get more of this upright. It could be that next year I come back and decide this is going to be my main tree, and I simply cut this one off. But we'll see how it goes over winter. And then I have to protect it, of course, from the rabbits. So at the end of the day, it looks like I butchered it pretty good, but it should be fine. Again, when you remove material from the bottom of the trees or shrubs that you're cutting, it should put more energy into the growth points and have it grow upward. And then I'm going to take these cuttings and try to do some rooting. It has been 10 days since I pruned the magnolia, where I removed the lower branches. I put some bunny protectors on there for right now. I got to put a better fence in. But here is a nice surprise that I had. I've got a nice flower that is forming. And I'm at the very end of July, which is really quite amazing. If I look at the rest, I could see where I'm probably going to be having some more buds forming here too. So it looks like I am going to have all kinds of nice surprise flowers. The thing to note when you're shearing the plants is it is putting those growth hormones into the top of the plant, which is what I want it to do, and force it to go upwards. And is one of the things that happen with magnolias is those flowers will come first. So it was a nice surprise. So if you want to try to force your magnolia to bloom in summer, if it's having trouble, try doing some pruning on the lower branches. Here is the magnolia blossom, first blossom for the summer, and I can't believe the deer didn't eat it off, but for right now it's kind of nice to be able to video it. So here are the cuttings. I have some hardwood cuttings, and then I have some heel cuttings, so you can see there's a little bit of the heel on that, where I just simply pulled the branch off, and it has some of the old hardwood on it. It's called a heel cutting. Now I'm going to go stick them in my propagation bin. So here are my propagation beds. I've got them outside of my house here. My husband's still working on them, but for right now it's filled with just plain sand, and he's putting a mist system in that's going to be underneath here. There's some spray nozzles, and then what I did is I just simply sliced through the sand with a I think it's a putty knife to make a slot, and then I'm going to dip the cuttings in some rooting hormone. So once I stick the cuttings, this is what it looks like. If this video is helpful, give us a thumbs up so YouTube knows to share this content with others. Also consider subscribing so you don't miss any of our other great videos. If you like how-to videos, check this playlist next. Thanks for stopping by. Have a great day.